There are 12 known varieties of the genus Vetiveria. The most important is Vetiveria zizinoides and its many cultivars. Other well-known species include Vetiveria nigritana, found in Africa, Vetiveria lawsoni, found in northern parts of the Indian subcontinent, and Vetiveria nemoralis, found in Thailand. However, Vetiveria zizinoides is the most widely grown, and its characteristics are best suited for soil and water conservation. Vetiver grass is generally an erect clump like grass, with leaves and stem growing to 2 meters and its roots extending vertically to depths of 5 meters or more. The grass is not invasive and can be removed by cutting below its crown. Some cultivars have flowers. It makes a pretty ornamental grass. Those cultivars of Vetiveria zizinoides that originated from South India often do not produce flowers at all, and when they do, the seeds are mostly sterile. Vetiver grass grows over a very wide range of conditions, including soils from pH 3 to pH 11, shallow and deep soils, soils with high levels of magnesium and aluminum, and in climates with rainfall from about 400 millimeters to 6,000 millimeters annually. It will not survive very cold and sustain sub-zero temperatures, although it will tolerate various levels of frost. Vetiver grass, when grown in a contour across a slope, creates a very dense hedge of half to 1 meter wide that acts as a barrier against rainwater runoff. This barrier significantly reduces the velocity of the runoff that enables the sediment content of the runoff to be deposited behind the hedge. Depending on the slope of the land, substantial natural terraces can be formed behind the terraces, which further reduces runoff and improves the recharge of groundwater through infiltration. A vetiver hedge system that spreads out rainfall runoff, retains sediment, and needs minimum maintenance. Such technology will reduce total soil losses from over 30 tons per hectare to 10 tons over a 3-year period.
Sediment, soil is built up behind a vetiver hedgerow, and as in this case it's just under 1 meter, which is really quite remarkable for a biological system. There's no engineering taking place here, and it's just nature's way of using this extraordinary plant when it's grown as a hedgerow to build up and hold soil sediment and then runoff. Now the runoff, we get a lot of rainfall here, over 1,000 millimeters, and most of this runoff stays on the surface in the beginning, and then when it hits a hedge it floods back behind the hedge and then infiltrates down into the groundwater. It's very interesting. If you look here in the background behind at the Tahani, there you can see how actually this terrace has really become quite flat, and that's very important because that again reduces the amount of runoff.
An example of such research in Thailand shows runoff plots with and without vetiver hedges. This scene clearly shows the sediment collected in a tank from an unprotected plot, whereas this scene shows minimum sediment collection from a plot protected by vetiver grass hedges. Vetiver grass hedges will back up rainfall runoff, as seen here in an experimental flume in Oxford, Mississippi. For quick and effective hedge formation, vetiver hedges, using vegetative planting material, should be planted about 15 centimeters apart in the rows. These two scenes show the difference in planting distances on eventual hedge density. Vetiver has the characteristic of producing roots at the nodes. That means that as the sediment builds up behind the hedge, new roots are produced higher up, and thus the plant grows with the rising terrace. In this scene, we have a close-up of the hedge cross-section showing some 60 centimeters of silt deposited over the original topsoil, dark band. In this scene, the hedge has stopped an enormous boulder that has fallen onto the road off a steep hillside and has prevented the boulder from moving further down the slope. Vetiver is extremely tolerant of fire. These scenes show the recovery of vetiver over a 4-week period following an intense fire.